he said. Is there a laugh track in the studio?
The appearance of bias or lack of objectivity.
Is there a laugh track in the studio? James, can you pull that up for us, please? He can't. He's laughing himself. You heard that? Finally, not just Christopher Wray. Fire anyone involved in the raid. I don't want to...
This had to be one of the best 9 minutes monologue I have ever heard in a long time. Hello friends, welcome to Look and Live. Now what we are going to listen to is the Federal Bureau of Injustice is the title of this video, where I'm going to allow Dan do his thing here. Friends, unfortunately, we gotta have these conversations. Here goes a man who used to work for the FBI, and he just does his thing in ways I have never heard it before. So how about we let him do the talking now and we do the listening.
Folks, the FBI is lost. It's broken, irredeemably corrupt at this point. The inexcusable raid on President Trump's home was the straw that broke the camel's back. I mean it when I say it. It's way past time to clean this FBI house up. They have burned every last shred of faith and trust freedom-loving Americans had in it. And to the libs out there, listen, don't even waste your time lecturing me on this issue. Not a second. I gaff you right off. I pay no attention to you losers, okay? No one's been a stauncher defender of FBI agents I work with than me. Go back and listen to my shows, you dipwads. I was the one defending them all the time.
Wow.
I've actually been a federal agent and a cop who actually put my butt on the line. But what the FBI did to Donald Trump, that wasn't law enforcement.
That was crazy. In other words, don't even start the argument here. Don't start calling names. He just gave you a little heads up. He knows what he is talking about. This is amazing. Let's keep going.
Cop who actually put my butt on the line. But what the FBI did to Donald Trump, that wasn't law enforcement. It was tyranny. Tyranny, I use the word very specifically. I use my words deliberately on this show. And like most abuses that come from the left, in this case within the FBI, we were warned about FBI corruption decades ago.
Most of our history, we didn't have those institutions. The FBI came in during the First World War. And interestingly enough, one thing that Woodrow Wilson did, he used the FBI to spy on American citizens and actually arrest them if they disagreed with his foreign policy about going to war in Europe. It almost looks like the FBI was designed to spy on Americans who might be disagreeing with policy, especially.
Wow. What an inception. That this genesis of the FBI, although it doesn't speak for the organization as a whole, I'm not sure if I can agree with every detail of that statement, but it is something to think about. If this is so, it is somewhat disturbing. Let's keep going.
Especially the foreign policy.
Prophetic, no?
Prophetic indeed.
But it's not like the Democrats themselves haven't warned us of their abuse of power from intel agencies like the FBI. Remember this gem from Chuck Schumer right before Trump took office?
Take on the intelligence community. They have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
What do you think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated?
I don't know, but from what I am told, they are very upset with how he has treated them and talked about them.
No, they're very upset. I'm very upset. I'm very upset about a lot of things. I don't go and spy on people, raid their compounds. Listen, the only way the Constitution works is if we, the people, believe it works. We understand that, right?
Yeah.
The Constitution, there's no magic in it. It doesn't guarantee our rights. It merely acknowledges our natural born rights handed down by God. Just because the FBI can abuse its power doesn't mean it should abuse its power.
That's right.
And when it does, it shatters you, Americans, your faith in government institutions. This faith is holding, it's a glue that holds us all together. Perhaps the late Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia said it best, quote, "The genius of the American constitutional system is the dispersal of power. Once power is centralized in one person or one part of government, a Bill of Rights, they're just words on paper." The disgrace.
Wow. That is a big statement. One power is centralized in one person, or one part of government. A Bill of Rights is just words on paper. Whenever the system is dispersal of power.
Graceful abuse of power by the FBI isn't new. Folks, it's been going on for decades. Here's just a quick refresher of the FBI's history here. These stories are what the FBI wasn't busy doing while they were busy working to erode the trust of freedom-loving Americans. And again, no one had been a bigger defender of the guys I worked with. No one. So hard pass for you challenging me, and I worked with them. Then, of course, there's Spygate, where we know the FBI not only spied on the Trump campaign, we have the names of the spies.
Wow.
But they knew the Steele dossier was fake and proceeded to drag Americans through the Russian collusion scam for years. Here's disgraced former FBI director Jim Comey bragging, he thinks he's funny, by the way, about evading White House protocols to try and entrap the Trump team. Take a look.
You look at this White House now, and it's hard to imagine 2 FBI agents ending up in the sit room. How did that happen?
I sent them.
Okay.
Something I probably wouldn't have done or maybe gotten away with in a more organized investigation, a more organized administration, if the FBI...
Gotten away with. Doesn't that imply that maybe you shouldn't be doing it? I'm just saying.
wanted to send agents into the White House itself to interview a senior official. You would work through the White House counsel, and there'd be discussions and approvals and who would be there. And I thought, it's early enough, let's just send a couple guys over.
Yeah, he's real hilarious, real smartass there, huh? He's the FBI director, folks. Listen, that's just blatant open corruption. Again, the FBI's abuse of power is nothing new. I wish it were, it's not. It's been abusing its power and eroding Americans' trust for decades now. Then there's the ongoing Hunter Biden laptop probe that the FBI downplayed before the 2020 election. And now, the agency admits...
This is disturbing. This is simply disturbing. That's all I have to say.
The contents of the laptop are real. On behalf of millions of Americans, let me say this. Of course it was real. And I have to ask, doesn't that feel just a tad bit politically motivated? Of course the laptop was real. It was turned over by Hunter Biden, who looks like Hunter Biden and signs a signature that resembles Hunter Biden. You know why? Because it's Hunter Biden. And he had an address that was Hunter Biden's, with a number that was Hunter Biden's.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird because the guy identified him as Hunter Biden. Really strange.
How did we miss that? Oh, a mistake. No. Oh, a deliberate mistake, right? I mean, these are strong arguments he's putting out here. And I don't know. I would like to hear anybody counteract this. Going through this monologue and debunk what this man is saying. I would like to know what facts could anybody bring to deal with this. If you have that, please share me a link. Share a link with me. I'll do a reaction video to it. This is strong argument right here. Or maybe they just ignore it altogether, as if this man is not saying anything that is true.
Folks, it's just the latest example of the FBI betraying our trust. Meanwhile, as they raid Donald Trump's home in Florida, the same Hunter Biden goes on vacation to sun himself with Joe and Jill on Air Force One. You getting a picture yet here? For once, Democrats actually...
So it's just... there is an imbalance of justice here. There is... So one party gets berated, bombarded with the activities of the FBI in use for whatever political purpose, I'm guessing, while the other party gets away with the worst of crime, to a degree, even federal crimes, and nothing is said. It is covered up. It's like it does cause you to wonder, has the FBI been weaponized for the Democratic Party? to carry out their intended purpose. If not, you have to help me with these facts, because as an independent thinker, it just doesn't look very good for them right now.
Get something right when they scream that our democracy is under direct assault.
If we do not defend it, democracy simply will not stand.
My former political party is fully anti-democracy. It is a fascist political party.
The threat Trump currently poses to American democracy.
Our democracy is at risk.
Of course, they were referring to Trump, but now the left sees no problem with the FBI's grotesque abuse of power against him. So where do we go from here, folks? Listen, I get it. We can all complain and condemn the FBI, but that doesn't fix anything. So here's some just quick ideas for you. First, Freedom of Information Act reform. You want answers from the FBI? Well, you got to get documents under FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. No big deal, right? Except they'll just stonewall you until you no longer need them, or you die or give up or something like that. Well, we demand the truth. I want that process reformed. Second, abolish the FISA court. The FISA court's good for one thing, spying on Donald Trump. I don't have to rehash the abuses the FBI used the FISA court for to go after Trump. Folks, we've been there. We've seen it. But it's time to throw it out. You want a warrant? There's a process for that. You know what it's called? It's called getting a warrant. And it's in that thing called the Constitution. There's an app for that. I have it on my phone. I can show you. Third, fire FBI Director Wray. Yeah, listen, for all the liberal dunces out there, too, I understand. Hey, Trump appointed him. I really don't give a damn. Here's how many craps I give about that. And that's a donut, 0. That makes 0 difference to me, okay? The swamp is deep. Wray's a disgrace. His own FBI has acted with blatant bias, while he had the stones to say this.
I have communicated consistently since I started as director that our folks need to make sure that they're not just doing the right thing, that they're doing it in the right way, and that they avoid even the appearance of bias or lack of objectivity.
It's too late now. Or the very thing that you might have said to them is exactly what is going on. How do you address it if you know that it's happening based on the evidence? Or we can turn a blind eyes and say, hey, maybe that's not what's going on. We're just doing our jobs. Non-partisan. Like the American people can't tell the difference. You don't think we are that dumb, do you? I'm just saying.
Is there a laugh track in the studio? James, can you?
He laughed. He laughed.
Objectivity.
Is there a laugh track in the studio? James, can you pull that up for us, please? He can't. He's laughing himself, Jared.
My name is James also. He said, is there a laugh track in the studio?
The appearance of bias or lack of objectivity.
Is there a laugh track in the studio? James, can you pull that up for us, please? He can't. He's laughing himself, Jared. Finally, not just Christopher Wray. Fire anyone involved in the raid. I don't want to hear any more rank and file stuff. I was the rank and file. I saw stuff I didn't like. I left. It's not hard. You swore an oath to the Constitution. That matters. If you played any role in this raid, you should be gone. It's time to clean house. And yes, I'm saying it on this network tonight. Draining the swamp has to be a top priority, whoever the GOP puts in the White House next. Listen, folks, it's hard to stand by and watch the FBI erode our trust and trample our constitutional rights. But there are some silver linings here. Polls are showing more than 70% of likely voters are motivated to vote in the midterms after the raid on Trump's home. I'm not here just to talk tough about this, folks. It's time to act. I'm talking directly to conservatives here. Don't get baited, by the way. Don't get baited into this violence nonsense. Please, do not get baited.
Don't get baited.
We can't afford to get complacent and expect to just coast to victory in November. No. I'm begging you, if I wasn't stuck in this desk, this isn't my regular studio, I would genuflect and get down on my knees. I am begging you to please, God, go out and vote, and I'm not using his name in vain. Our big R God-given rights hang in the balance. And to the FBI, one final note before my guest. Get it together, man. Get it together. You have guns, you have badges, people trust you. There have been TV series written about you in movies.
Yes.
Get it together. You have this see something.
Get it together. What a plea. What a plea.
Get it together. You have guns, you have badges, people trust you. There have been TV series written about you in movies. Get it together.
Get it
you
together.
have this see something, say something thing. Well, if you see something in the FBI, then damn it, say something. The most powerful law enforcement agency in the history of the cosmos. Do the right thing.
That's right.
And I'm not talking about the Spike Lee joint. You take a breather. I'm a little pissed off tonight.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
Awesome. Great monologue. Powerful stuff. I would like to hear, how can anybody debunk any of the stuff that this man is saying here? I will not say his name because I know he is the big tech doesn't like his name very much. But nevertheless, the truth is the truth. All right. Let's just keep it simple. Let's just be honest about it. This is nothing new. When you go to the Bible, what you're going to find out is that stuff like this has always been an issue. Good system can get corrupted, whether their intent was in a positive or negative. Sometimes these systems have done great things. And let's talk about the FBI. They've done a lot of great things, a lot of amazing work. But at the same time, it can be weaponized. It can be politicized. It can be used. You know what I'm saying? That happens. But when that happens, we got to clean up the house. And I love what this man is saying here. A lot of what he said is very true. And hate it or love it, he's speaking with a lot of common sense, if you were to ask me. Going to the Bible, friends, look at what he says here. Talking about Israel's king, right? He's talking about Samuel, his sons, and the judges. Named the firstborn was Joel, and the name second Abiah. And they were judges in Beersheba. The thing about Samuel was, a good prophet, but he had children that were wicked. Okay. But he made them judges over Israel, which was really bad because Samuel knew that his sons were wicked. He should have never done that. But here is the problem here. His sons walk not in his ways, but turn aside after lucre, bribes, and perverted judgment. Did you hear what happened to them? Their problem was that they had a good father. They were placed in a position to do a great work as judging the people, as protecting and helping and guarding the security of Israel. But what happened to them? They turned aside after lucre. They took bribes, and as a result, perverted judgment. Do you see the application? Some of the good systems may have had a positive beginning, may have started on a positive note to do an amazing, great work. But what could happen to them? They could be corrupted with lucre. That's money. Okay? They could be used for political reasons. They took bribe. And as a result of that, they start perverting judgment. As it was then, so it is today. You get the point of what I'm saying, right? So, what are we supposed to do? I like what Dan says here. Some cleanup has to happen. Some praying has to happen. And the discussion has to happen as well. Let me know what you guys think about this stuff. I mean, where do we go from here? What do you think should be done, added, take away from this discussion? How do you feel about this monologue? Who wants to debunk some of this? Comment below. Do you have a link below to somebody else who might have said something in response to this monologue? I would like to hear. Until next time, remember, and as always, look unto Jesus, live by faith, like and subscribe to the page, click the bell icon for more of my uploads. I'm currently uploading a series of Bible study that I have done in the past, and I'm putting them on this channel right now. So make sure you go to Luke Bible Study Made Simple playlist that I have. I'm gonna put a link in that at the end of this video. Check out some of the stuff we got going on here. For those of you who are spiritually hungry, that's for you. And again, to all of our members, thank you so much. We love you. I love you. And God bless you all. Have a good one. Bye.